Now, upon questioning, just remember, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford one, will be appointed to you by the state sanitaries. Do you understand these rights as I've appointed them to you today?
Mm.
With these rights in mind, would you still wish to speak to me and the two colleagues in the room?
Why not? More charges, the better.
Okay. So at the moment, you're looking at times 15 disarming LEO. You're looking at like times 5 fleeing and evading, times 6 like reckless driving, etc. It goes on. Theft of a motor vehicle. It goes on. Okay. Go on. No worries. If you want to go ahead and read him his charges real quick.
Did they forget to mention the 2 bank robbers?
Okay. Now, Mr. Summers, you know your cousin, Jason Aldrich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Aldrich, remind me, what does he work as?
A cop?
What kind of cop is he? What agency?
All I know is a cop.
Okay. Now, you've been to the address 6085 in the past 48 to 72 hours. Am I correct in saying that? Now, between that time of you being there, what was your original, destination? Why were you there? And why did you decide to go there? And it was a very self-observant. I mean, you've gone there, you've broken into his house. But what was your end goal? What were you looking for?
Threats. Threats.
Drugs?
Threats.
Threats? What kind of threats did he make to you?
Hmm?
Threaten you? Exactly?
No, but has a crucial thing that I want to take back.
And what would that be?
A piece of paper that has some information.
Now, we see information. What kind of information does it have on it?
I'll give you a little hint. Bombs.
Bombs?
It's bomb relating.
Okay. And well, Mr. Aldrich, did he take that off you to protect you, or did he keep it off you so that you didn't do anything stupid?
Beats me.
Cool. Now, myself and a fellow deputy of mine, as well as 3 LSPD units, have responded to that residence within the past week. In the time that we've responded to that residence for a break-in or a silent alarm or anything like that, we've never seen you at that residence. Now, every single time we've been there, we've found out that the safe has been opened and that 325 armed firearms belonging to the LSPD have been taken and, stolen. Now, with that being said, there was a few mags in there that were also stolen.
Didn't
What?
didn't
Okay.
didn't my cousin said anything about it?
Well, actually, we ran a pending investigation from that house running back to you. Now, I'll tell you how we did that, and you're going to tell me every single piece of information that you tell us what we can do to try and help you out. At the moment, you're looking at pretty hefty charges. If I'm not mistaken, you might be going for 25 to life at this point with the
I
charges you've
take
got.
life. I take life. I'll break out the
And to be honest,
person.
if we find anything else, it will go 70 to life, and then at one point we'll be charging you with 150 years, and you won't be getting out. Okay.
Yeah,
So
and I have a gun stash, and I'm not gonna tell you where it is.
well, we're gonna work towards that. Maybe we can help you out, but you have to be able
Nah,
to
that's
help
not
us out
helping
so we
me
can
out.
help you out.
All I need is that piece of paper.
Now, just hear me out, okay? We responded one night, which is the, I want to say about the fifth time we've responded. We gave your cousin our business cards. He communicated via phone number. He called ourselves and myself, 3 LSPD units, two of them being 1071s like me, and two
Didn't a
deputies.
detective
Hmm.
inform you anything about? Oh yeah, I have always kept tabs on radio since I stole them. Apparently they had
See,
radio.
I'm sure you have. Knowing
Didn't they
your
keep
history at the
tabs
moment
on?
with us.
Didn't they keep tabs on like evidence and anything? Because I'm pretty sure that one time uh my cousin mentioned the detective about finding 5.56 bullet casings.
Mhm. Well, I've been in communication with pretty much every agency's detectives apart from SAHP at this time. And this is what I can tell you I've got at the moment. Okay, gotcha.
And
Now,
have you heard that I have murdered 4 SHP officers?
well, that's what the pending
And they
investigation is
point.
going to be based on. Now, I'll tell you what we did, okay? We've responded one night, that's involving about 7 of us. We've made entry inside the house to see your cousin on the bottom floor. Now, your cousin is confused on what's going on. You know, he doesn't give us any piece of information. He's kind of shook up, but, you know, he won't give us anything. Now, obviously, at that time, we don't know what's going on. So, we've ran our investigation. We've checked the safe. We've seen a note saying, "I'm coming for you." All, you know, all caps, signed by you. Now, we ran fingerprints to make sure that it was based on you, and it came back with a positive link. Now, we've also ran
No,
cameras
that's
on that
not.
road. Hold on,
That's
we've
true
run
for you.
cameras on that road, which also came back with a positive link. Now, a neighbor was able to identify you as well via face cam due to the fact you didn't have a mask on at the time. Now, you were seen making entry into the same scat pack that the trooper has just explained to me and taken off northbound towards the city. You've then lost eyes on us, came back up where you've relocated towards where I am, and the 1080 began and ended at Oaks, where you've crashed. Ever since then,
What?
we have been working towards this. Now, we are one step closer to finding out every single piece of information that we have inside the house. Now, that house is a maze. And we have got a few pieces of information that links to your DNA. Now, if you're going to be honest with me and you tell me where everything is, we're talking about the notes that link to this quote unquote bomb, this gun stash, etc. We might be able to cut you a little deal. Now, at the moment, you're looking at way more than we could possibly contribute towards, unless you help us out. We've
I'm not
got.
gonna tell you my gun stash or
Mm,
neither my stash with bombs. Neither that as well.
here's the thing: it's either you tell us or we
I
find
can
out.
tell I can tell you where all the notes and everything went.
The notes? What kind of notes?
Hmm. Plan out bank robbery.
So, if you can, you know, tell me where every single one of these notes are, and
And
tell me what these notes are for,
you will never know who is my accomplice as well.
how about you give us the start? The notes, what were the notes based on? What were you planning?
Threats and
Threats
maybe
to
a
what?
break-in to MRPD.
So you were planning another raid of LSPD's HQ, is what I'm hearing.
And that time is to plan to
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. If it's not, you could put it under terroristic threats. It would be a federal offense. And that's why if he did decide to take this to court, he would go on in front of a federal court, which is a little bit more hard to get out of.
Which I won't even want to deal with, because
I'm
killing
sure you
someone is
wouldn't.
innocent, I don't give a fuck.
Now, obviously, the DA would not be able to drop any charges unless you give us some piece of information. Now, we can't promise you anything much, but we'll be able to drop a few felony charges, maybe drop them down to misdemeanors. But that's not going to really affect your time in prison. I mean, at the moment, you're looking at anything between 50 to life at the moment with what you told us. That's without probation, without parole, without the chance of being bailed out, any of that. Not even house arrest.
And once my accomplice finds out I'm in prison, he's gonna
What's going to happen?
find, he's gonna find some officers, kill them, and flee.
No, hold on. Because you're forgetting a piece of information. Your accomplice wants exactly what you want. Am I not mistaken in saying that? He wants the note. He wants the gun stash. He wants all of that. So he would not just go and kill a cop, and I know that very well. You know that very well as well. You know very well that he wants what you want. So he will go after what you are currently looking for. Which means that it's not over. Which means that we are one step closer. But if you can give us more information on what you are planning, at least that way, maybe we can figure out what's going on. We can figure this out. At the moment, I don't know if you've heard, but from the Supreme Court and the governor, there is now a death sentence that has been authorized in the state. So it's either you can give us some piece of information that keeps you off that
You
death
wanna know
row.
what's on that paper? You
Mm-hmm.
wanna know what's on that paper? The
Mm-hmm.
paper I
Go ahead.
want to grab? All the bombings that happened around January.
The bombings in January.
Around January.
Okay.
You want me to give you locations?
Give me a few locations and I'll take
This
some notes as well
station.
as the trooper. Well, you're planning to bomb this station, is what you were saying?
No.
Or it already
It
happened?
wasn't. It already happened. That piece of
You said
paper.
the bombing of here in January.
Yeah, around January.
Okay. Anything else that you can give us? Anything bomb related or anything, you know, you were planning, plotting?
And I'm pretty sure we also hit one of the other SHP stations with a bomb.
Which one would that be?
Down on.
La
Not the
Mesa?
city one. Not the La Mesa one.
You're talking about the highway one?
Yes, the highway one. The one on Los Santos Freeway.
You're talking about 7357.
Mm-hmm. You know if
7357 hasn't had any recent bomb. So it's either
yeah, like
you
it's maybe
are
like
planning
months
it,
ago.
it's been in plot. But I will tell you so, we've had SWAT responses to MRPD. Not particularly for bombings, but for riots, for raids, for things like that. Give me a brief kind of idea. What date, what time did you make entry into that MRPD, raid their armory or whatever?
I can
We'll
give
be getting
you.
somewhere.
It's on CCTV. It's on CCTV.
No, if you can work towards me, help me out here, so that we can figure out when the CCTV footage happened. Give me a brief time whereabout.
I thought the LSPD detectives would have known by now.
They do, but we're not. I'm not keeping tabs with them at the moment. I'm grabbing what I can and going back and telling everything together.
Meh, it may be yesterday,
Yesterday,
possibly during the midnight shift.
now roughly how many firearms, handguns, rifles, anything you could think of? What did you take? How many did you take? And what was your plan for MRPD in general?
Took about 15 buses, 5 of them being SWAT vests and 5 being and the rest just being police vests. Then a bunch of AR-15s and M4A1s. Maybe a couple, maybe a bunch of Glocks as well, with including a radio, maybe some SWAT helmets, and a bunch of radios.
Cool. Now with those radios, you realize one thing.
Mm-hmm.
After that,
They
if you try and do anything back in the station, it will be heavily protected. Now, with that being said, can you tell me that all of the things you took from MRPD, involving the radios, the rifles, anything that is not with you now, is that where that should be?
radios not with the stash, because you guys can really just find it easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this like ping tracker, all that. So I did not put it next to the gun stash, not the bomb stash. So
Is it nearby?
it's not nearby.
It's with the. Sorry, you said the radios was where? Sorry.
No, you can find it at my home address probably.
I'm sure we can, but obviously, going through a warrant now is a little bit more difficult. See, we've got to go through a judge. Now, I can get them processed and get them ready to go, but you need to give me a bit more information. What are you going to find inside your house? What's going to be the first thing we see? Is there going to be anything that can harm us? Anything that's going to happen? Anybody inside the residence we need to be made aware of? Anything like that?
Maybe 2 pounds of C4 in there.
C4 in there?
2 pounds.
2 pounds. Okay, well, fine.
But so maybe a couple mil from a bank truck robbery.
And can you give me a rough date of when that bank truck robbery happened?
If LSP was informed about Gupta saying that their bank truck got stolen and this as well as their uniforms, they'll probably.
Okay. Now, the only reason, particularly, that myself, LSPD, and SHP are involved is because SHP responded. This crime happened within our county, and LSPD had every right to come due to the fact it's still in city limits. Which is smart.
And I'm pretty sure they never got there.
If you ever see any LS episode, make sure to holler at us on Channel 9 for that as well, because it's an active investigation from our side as well now. That's what's good. Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. How many of us are on at the moment? There's only 8 of us on, and 4 of those are flyers. 5 of them, actually. But, yeah, that's understandable. Mr. Summers, you and your whereabouts for, let's say, the last 3 to 4 days from when you stole the boat to where you then made entry back into your cousin's house and then back on foot to your vehicle. Between those days and between those hours, the 24 to 72, what have you been doing between the time we have been looking for you? Now, you don't have to answer that, but remember what I said. Any key information that you hand to us is going to help you, Keely, to stick number 1 off anything that we try and charge you off. But if there is a chance that you're pushing that limit for that death sentence, and that ends up getting authorized by the judge, There's just a moment of time. There's a span where you can get yourself off it. But as soon as it comes to that day, you'll be regretting everything. You have to remember that. You want to stay alive to see what your accomplice does, right? Yeah. I got you. Well, that being said, Mr. Summers, 24 to 72 hours, what were you doing in your spare time? Was that you stashing them away? Was it you doing anything briefly that could have incriminated yourself? Was it something you were doing in terms of meeting your accomplice? It doesn't matter, you don't have to give us his first and last name. But remember, if you were able to get away with from us a few times, I'm sure your accomplice can too. So if you give us a first name or at least a last name we can work towards, you give that to us. A bit more information key on what you're doing for 24 to 72 hours with those firearms, guns, bombs, etc.
You know, Mr. Newt Newt.
We could do something.
You know, Mr. Newt Newt.
Mr. Newton.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he. I heard that he got shot and killed by the entire BCSO SWAT team. And else. May have made some deals with him. Yeah, heard about
So
him.
what, Newt being NOOT twice? Yeah, okay.
I even heard LSPD had to kill him there. I heard over that radio. You had two snipers. Imagine that guy
Okay.
hit two BMGs to the head.
Hold on. If you heard over the radio, you must have been in at that time, right?
Really?
And with that being said as well, what's the reason you bring up Mr. Newt? What's up with that? Was he involved
May or
with you
may
at
not,
all?
may or may not have been have done some deals with him. Maybe drug deals, all that.
Okay.
I
What kind of things have you been dealing with him specifically? Now I know you said narcotics, but can you give me a more brief idea?
robbery plans.
Yeah.
So it's just you two. So if I were to start, so if I were to just start attacking both of you, you have only that problem unit upstairs.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you something. Even if you try to do anything, I don't guarantee that you would be able to successfully take any of us down. I mean, come on, look at you. Look at you. You've been put in cuffs, in court. It's over. Your life is over.
And you know,
Unless you can make us a deal. Your life is only over if you don't give us every single detail. Because I will not push for any court, for any, doesn't matter for anything. I wouldn't push for a court system to be able to be in your favor. I won't push for the DA to even go easy on you. Anything you do from now on is what's going to count to you. Not only staying off the death sentence, but also spending 250 years sentence. Now you know why they do a 250-year sentence, Mr. Summers?
rotting in solitary confinement.
Pretty much. They add on years, so that if a few of your years get reduced, you still spend the rest of your life in jail. So, with that being said, with your current charges, it's not looking too good. Which I do appreciate, but that's only 10% of what I'm going to ask you. It's not going to be continuously today and whatever. It's going to be within the next few days. I'm going to ask for you to come back to this, and we're going to ask a few questions.
I mean, I could give you information, but I do want that piece of paper that my cousin has.
We can try and do that, but you have to give us a location of where that paper is so that we can do that for you.
Most likely, I want you somewhere like that. That's where he keeps all this very important stuff.
So that's going to be plans and plots, yeah? Would that be on his desk, or will that be in the evidence room? He's KIA? Okay. It's apparently one of his buddies. Now, can you supply me with first and last name of your buddy? That way we could try and get you this paper.
You want my buddy's name?
Yeah, so that we can go through evidence. Because otherwise, everything will be destroyed that is found after investigations have been closed. So, if you would like to sign my last name, might be one step to you getting out of some hefty charges.
Maybe. I call him by Mitch.
By bitch?
John Mitch?
That's what I'm thinking currently. What I'm thinking, because this is a pretty hefty charge, we are still going to have an active investigation involving all of this. Okay.
Radio check.
Time to get communication as well. So, John Mitch, is John Mitch related to you? Is he going to be just a close buddy of yours?
He's just a friend.
Just a friend? John Mitch was shot. Was he shot and killed by law enforcement at all? Do you know which agency?